Good morning, students. This is our next part for the chapter Power Sharing in Political Science. Students, earlier we have talked about the two cases of Sri Lanka and Belgium, that how they have come up with the final solution for the power sharing. Now we are talking about the next point, that why power sharing is desirable. Why it is needed that power should be shared among the different body of the government. Thus, two different sets of reason can be given favor of power sharing. Firstly, power sharing is a good because underline because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. Yes, when students we share the power, then it creates the less you can say situation uh, among the people for any type of dispute or conflict. Okay, which is also necessary for running a good government. Since social conflict often leads to violence, because we know that whenever there are social conflicts among the people in a society, then definitely they will convert it into a violence and political instability. Power sharing is a good way to ensure the stability of political order. Okay, imposing the will of majority community over others may look like an attractive option in the short run, but in the long term it undermines the unity of the nation. So students, it is very clear that if we want to run a government or governmentship very smoothly, then for some time it may be so attractive that we will listen only the demands and the needs of the majority section, and we will ignore the minority section. But as far as the long term procedure, okay, we have to listen the minority section also as we listen the majority section. That's why power sharing is desirable. Next, the tyranny of the majority is not just oppressive for the minority, it often brings ruin to the majority as well. Yes, and the unfortunately, when we say that we will favor majority section in a country, then it doesn't mean that only minority section will suffer just because of the ignorance. As after some time, the majority section also suffered just because of their autocratic rulership. There is a second deeper reason that why power sharing is good for democracy. Power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. Underline. Power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. A democratic rule involves sharing powers with those affected by its exercise and who have to live with its effect. People have right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. A legitimate government is one where citizens through participation acquire a stake in the system. So second reason that why power sharing is desirable, student, that it is a soul of a democratic nation. As in a democracy, we divide the power among three organs: parliament, executive, and you can say legislative and executive and judiciary. So these all three organs works togetherly, and then they also listen the demand and the desires of the country people, and the country people also have the share, a proper share in the government functioning and the government making by their voting power. Now, let us call the first set of reason prudential. So, we have discussed the two reasons that why power sharing is desired. So, for first reason, where it reduces the chances of conflict among the people, we are calling this reason as a prudential reason. And the second reason where we are saying that that democracy is very split is power sharing, it will be a moral reason. While prudential reason stress that power sharing will be bring about better outcomes, moral reason emphasizes the very act of power sharing as valuable. So the difference between the objective are different of prudential reason of power sharing and moral reason of power sharing. Prudential reason always stress that power sharing will bring out better results, while the moral reason emphasizes the very act of power sharing as valuable. Okay, so there are two basic reasons. One we will call prudential reason, and second the moral. Both are different in their working or their objective. Now, forms of power sharing. What are the forms of power sharing in a democratic nation? The idea of power sharing has emerged in opposition to the notions of undivided political power. For a long time, it was believed that all power of government must reside in one person or one group of persons located at one place. It was felt that if the power to decide is dispersed, it would not be possible to take quick decisions and to enforce them. But these notions have changed with the emergence of democracy. Earlier, beta, it was thought that if we share the power among the various body, then it will be tough to regulate the governmentship. But slowly and gradually, when the democracy arrived in the country, then all have changed their opinion regarding the power sharing. That one basic principle of democracy is that people are the source of all political power. Because we know when we are favoring democracy, we know it very clearly that power sharing or the one of the most important principle of democracy that we give the importance to the people of the country in their political activity and political authority. In a democracy, people rule themselves through institution of self-government. In good democracy, government due respect is given to the diverse groups and views that exist in a society. Everyone has a voice in the shaping of public policy. Yes, as a democratic nation, every country people is have same share, same stake, same power, same authority to give their opinion and to form their government as they are having voting power. Therefore, it follows that in a democracy, political power should be distributed among as many citizens as possible. That's why it has decided that in in a democracy that power should be excuse me, power should be distributed among the various people as much as possible. Now, in modern democracy, power sharing arrangements can take many forms. Let us look at some of the most common arrangement that we have or will come across. Okay, now we are talking about in modern democracy how we share the power under power sharing system. First, power is shared among different organs of the government. Okay, that these are the ways that in a democratic nation we share the power in a various forms, and the one form is when we share power among the different organs of the government such as the legislature, executive and judiciary. Let us call this horizontal distribution of power. So this system, when we share the power among legislative, executive, and judiciary beta. This pattern is known as horizontal distribution of power. Underline. Okay. Horizontal distribution of power. Let us call the now our power because it allows different social groups or different organs government placed at same level to exercise different power. Such as separation ensure that none of the organ can exercise unlimited power. We divided the power horizontally because it allows that no organ can autocratically use their power. Okay, now each organ checks the others. This results in a balance of power among various institutions. Last year we studied that in a democracy, even though minister and government official exercise power, but they are responsible to the parliament or state assembly. Similarly, although judges are appointed by the executive, they can check the functioning of executive or laws made by the legislature. This arrangement is called system of checks and balances. Underline. So this system where the executive and the legislature and the judiciary all are answerable to each others for their functioning and they are cross checking their work. This system is known as checks and balances. Underline what is checks and balances. Now the second form of power sharing in modern democracy, power can be shared among governments at different levels. Okay, as a general government for the entire country and governments at the provincial or the regional level, such as general government for the entire country is usually called federal government. Okay, in India we refer to it as the central or the union government. The government at the provincial or the regional level are called by different names in different countries. Okay, in India we call them state governments. This system is not followed in all countries. There are many countries where there are no provincial or state government, but in those countries like ours where are different levels of government, the constitution clearly lays down the powers of different levels of government. This is what they did and this is what they did in Belgium but was refused in Sri Lanka. This is called federal division of power. Okay, so when we divide the power between center and state, this system is known as a federal division of power. The same principle can be extended to levels of the government lower than the state government, such as the municipality and the panchayat. Third tier of government, let us call division of power, involving higher and lower levels of government, vertically division of power. So when we divide the power according to the federal division, then this system is known as vertical sharing of power or division of power. Okay, now the third form of power sharing. So student, third type of power sharing in a modern democracy is power may also be shared among the different social groups such as religious and linguistic groups, and it is called in community government as it has done in Belgium. Is a good example of this arrangement. In some countries, there are constitutional and legal arrangements whereby socially weaker section and women are represented in the legislatures and administration. Last year, we studied the system of reserved constituency in assembly and the parliament of our country. This type of arrangement is meant to give space in the government and administration to diverse groups, okay, to diverse group who otherwise would feel alienated from the government. So community government is another way to distribute the powers in the country in a democracy. This method is used to give minority communities a fair share in power. Okay, now the fourth type of power sharing in modern democracy is power sharing arrangements can also be seen in the way political parties, pressure groups, and the movements control or influence those in power. In a democracy, the citizen must have freedom to choose among various contenders for power. Yes, we have the power. In contemporary democracy, this takes the form of competition among the different political parties. Such as competition ensures that power does not remain in one hand. Yes, now in the long run, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideology and social groups. Sometimes this kind of sharing can be direct when two or more parties form an alliance to contest election. If their alliance is elected, they form a coalition government and thus share power. In a democracy, we find interest groups such as those of trader, businessman, industrialist, farmers, and industrial worker. They also will have a share in the government power. How? Either through the participation in the government committee or bringing influence on the decision making process. Okay, so these are the ways that how the power is shared in the modern democracy. So it is a forms of power sharing. So students, chapter is completed, and in this chapter now I will give you the exercise question. These are the understanding based question, especially the question number 3 and the question number 4. You have to read them carefully and understand what is the need of the question. Okay, so this chapter is completed. Now we will do the homework in a proper way.